Okay, we're recording now, and this is the part where we do the show. Then we'll have a conversation that you guys are not privy to. If you would like to be privy to that conversation, find us and speak with us. And then if we like you, we probably will exclude you for about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I'll put that at the end of the show.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, welcome to
Hello.
Hi. How's it going? We're good at this. We have been on for a while, again, because I've been walking around the United States. I'm Iyaz Akhtar.
Rob Borghese.
Yes, and we are together, finitecomedy.com. True story.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hang on. We can do it through the center of the screen. I don't know if this will work. No, I mean, like, you got to go the other way. There you go. And then boom. I'll make an explosion right there. And boom. Anyway, this is killing time. This is the show that people are starting to watch because apparently they are following me online. And I have no idea why anybody would want to watch this show. This is effectively a conversation between two friends.
Yes.
And
people like to watch it. And
we really appreciate you guys watching because I don't know. Good for you guys. If you get something out of this, I don't know why or how you could get something out of this. Anyway, this is the show where we search for entertainment that does not suck. And there's a lot of crap out there. But
yes,
I'll tell you something I've been watching that's not crap. It's Louie on FX. You ever watch that show?
Once or twice. I haven't got into it as much as I'd like, just because I haven't had a lot of free time to catch up on the older episodes.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty much very self-contained. It's starring and written by, directed by, certain times by Louie CK. He's a comedian. He's also had another show on HBO called, I think, Lucky Louie.
Yep.
And his humor is incredibly inappropriate.
Yes.
I mean, one of his things is, this might get us the explicit tag today, but like one of his daughters, he describes his 4-year-old as an a-hole. Because like they wanted to go to a park or something or a restaurant, and the problem is she wouldn't put on her shoes. So he's just trying to explain to the audience how his little girl's an a-hole. Because if this was the case, I'm like, look, Bob, we gotta go. And it's like, oh, we can't go because Bob's not putting his shoes on. I mean, everyone thinks Bob's an a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually quite a funny show. I think it's quite good. At times it's really dark and very uncomfortable. So if you like that uncomfortable Office UK style humor, I think you'd like this. But also, you don't have to watch them. There's no big story arc, so you don't have to get caught up.
So that's a self-contained episode is nice.
Yeah, they seem very self-contained. They're on FX, and what's the other thing? I think it just ran its first 12 episodes. So knowing FX, they'll probably run a whole bunch. So you probably just DVR them. I think they're on Hulu actually, which is surprising considering the content. But I think it's TVMA. So if you're mature like us, let's have our coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch Louie. So you've watched the show?
One or two episodes towards the first 2 episodes I've seen.
So you liked it though?
I did. I liked it. But I always liked his humor, so I knew I'd like the show. Because he pretty much is the creative mind behind the whole thing.
Yeah, so if you like that kind of dark humor stuff, you're going to like this. It's not like dark like Cable Guy where it's like evil. It's just dark as in the subject matter can be a little bit awkward.
Yes.
Anyway, go watch the show. Go on Hulu. We'll have a link somewhere. What have you been watching?
I went to see a horrible movie last weekend called Going the Distance.
Who's in that?
Justin Long and Drew Barrymore.
I saw a billboard for that. And isn't Drew Barrymore kind of like old enough to be Justin Long's mother at this point?
Well, I think they're like dating in real life.
Isn't Drew Barrymore pretty much old enough to be Justin Long's mother at this point?
Probably.
Especially Drew Barrymore's history?
Probably.
That's right. I'm ragging on somebody.
Yes.
Take that. So how was the program?
It was a romantic comedy that they tried to disguise with the Judd Apatow like body humor and sex humor.
Was it a Judd Apatow movie?
No, it wasn't. But it had a lot of that humor in it, the sexual humor, the bad sexual puns, a lot of college guy type jokes, but it was still just a romantic comedy disguised like that, and they did neither very well. They didn't do the college guy humor very well, and they didn't do the romantic comedy part very well, so it just kind of sucked.
So compare it to She's Out of My League.
She's Out of My League was funny in that everybody played their role very well.
But that was also more of a rom-com than
it definitely was more of a rom-com, but people played their roles very well. he played the awkward guy very well in it. In She's All That, She's Out of My League. He played, she played the hot chick very well, and you could almost understand why she would go for this loser guy because of everything that happened before. But you just didn't see why anything was happening with the two people in this Going the Distance movie.
Do you think that you had problems with, this happens to me a lot, when you see an actor enough times, you're like, hey, that's the Mac guy talking to Drew Barrymore. Did that happen with this movie, or was
Yeah, it did happen a little bit. And Drew Barrymore, I have a tough time taking serious in any movie. But I went with my girlfriend, and even she didn't like it, which is not just, so it shows it's not just my bias against romantic comedies. She didn't like it.
Well, in all fairness, I don't think I think that you have a tolerance for rom-coms, especially in the 80s.
Yeah.
And a lot of movies effectively are romantic comedies. Every
Yes.
single one of them, it might be more heavy on the comedy, but it's always some guy going after a girl.
Yeah.
So,
No, I agree, but I'm just saying I wasn't the only one who hated it.
yeah, I just from the movie poster alone, I was like, no.
Yeah. So definitely stay away from that one.
Yeah, so we've decided it sucks?
Yeah, avoid it like the plague.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, if you had to pick the plague over, would you pick the plague over this?
No, but I'd still avoid it like I was avoiding a plague.
I see. So if you see it in the theater, like as you scurry by the entrance, just run the other way.
Yes.
Good idea. What else have you been doing for entertainment?
Been keeping up with Mad Men.
Oh yeah, I keep missing the episodes, but so I watch them like days later. I'm like, oh yeah, there's Mad Men on the TV.
I actually just watched last week's this morning.
Last week's was very funny, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Now either I was hard up for Mad Men humor because the episodes have been kind of slow and a little bit, kind of plotting, I think.
Yeah, they've been very plotting lately. I mean, last week's was pretty good. Sterling, the guy who plays Sterling, always keeps it funny. He always has at least 2 or 3 lines that make you laugh.
Yeah, but I think that even Peggy had some funny lines. Don had some funny lines. There was it actually moved some story along at the same time.
Yeah, it did.
It was heavy, and if John Hamm doesn't win the Emmy this year for that episode,
I know.
like he did every range of emotion possible, and you bought it completely. And I think Bryan Cranston won the past 2 years.
Yeah.
He's awesome on Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, he is, but I mean, you're right. That one episode, he hit every extreme of emotion.
And you bought it.
And totally.
And I like the episode. I think I hope it's the turn of the corner on Mad Men, so like it turns into what it normally is. And have we seen Cooper other than just sitting in the background?
No, not really. He hasn't really had much of a central role this season.
Yeah, it's been pretty self-contained stories. So I'm kind of curious about like the rest of the Mad Men universe.
Yeah, it's been very Dawn-centric so far this season.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, this must be like the worst season for the Dawn.
Yeah, I mean,
character.
it's always Dawn-centric, but this one is really all following Dawn. You never really follow anybody else.
Yeah, so I think the first couple seasons we got to know a lot of the side characters. This season, not so much. This has been Dawn's descent.
Yeah.
Into just being sad, effectively.
Being sad and just really having no personal life.
This is very gutsy too. I mean, it's very hard to show somebody being depressed as your main character. Mm-hmm. We should know. We tried that show.
Yeah.
That didn't work so well. That show's name? Dinosaurs. Before they were fuels. Very depressed main character there.
Always.
That would be a funny show if I started doing the show. I do another show called Dinosaurs Before They Were Fuels, if you guys are not aware.
If you did it from a depressed point of view?
Yeah, it's like they're all gone.
They're all gone.
They're all gone.
I miss them.
And I just have a bird on my shoulder like, I'm still here. Like, oh, okay. Thanks, Polly. At the end of every episode, like, oh, thanks, Polly. Yeah, that would be a decidedly different route.
Yes.
That might be the final episode where I just realized they're all gone and have the nice camera shot from above as I drop to my knees and yell, no!
Damn yous!
Damn yous all to hell. Speaking of damn yous all to hell, I saw Donnie Wahlberg at the airport.
Really?
Yes.
Donnie, he's in a new show with Tom Selleck on CBS this season.
Is that Blue Blood?
Yeah, it's got Bridget Moynahan in it too. I don't know anything about the show. I just saw an ad for it in a magazine recently.
I left the fellow alone because I figured he was with his kid and sitting alone. But I'm like, give him this look like, wait, is you? And then he's like, I'm like, okay, get away from him because just leave him alone. It's just an oddball
I mean, you know the way it is when your fans walk up to you. I mean, it gets annoying, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about. If you guys don't know, I've been making the rounds in the tech circles the past couple of weeks. I'm guest starring in shows. So basically, we're going to be reviewing the shows I'm on.
Yes.
That's what we've just. This has just become a self-aggrandizing program.
I like it. Good idea.
And Dinosaurs is picking up steam. No, it's not a dinosaur train. That would be cool, but no steam there. I have a new show called This Old Nerd, which it's about a guy, this guy, and he shows you how to put tech in your house or your apartment or whatever. Actually, I think it's quite a good show. It's a long episode, 9 minutes. If some people were like, it's too short. Like 9 minutes for a web video is like forever.
And let me tell people, we have some very good ideas in the pipeline for that show, so it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, there's actually going to be a follow-up on the Wired Networking episode because I didn't expect the amount of questions I got. But I'll tell the audience.
It's definitely something people are interested in.
Yeah, it's basically, you're old like me, and you got a wife, you got kids, you got dogs. You're like, you know what? My house doesn't have to be like something from like Amish country. You can have all kinds of stuff. Anyway, enough plugging for that. So I got one piece of fan mail.
You got a piece of fan mail.
Piece of fan mail.
Wow.
And that's the guy who told me he was watching this show. So, hey, Rodney. Say hi to Rodney.
Hey, Rodney.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
All right, anything else we're doing? We're watching or listening to? What are you doing for entertainment these days? More golf?
What?
More golf?
More golf. I'm actually training for a 10K run in February. I just started that this week.
That's like February. That's because you're in Florida. That's crazy.
Right. There's some big event thing, it's called Gasparilla. It celebrates the discovery of Tampa Bay by a pirate or whatever. But they make a big deal about it around here. And so there's a 5K and a 10K run. So I figured I'd try and start training for the 10K.
You're going to run for fun?
Yeah, I do that.
In the future, they'll run for fun. Run for fun.
I believe they call it yogging.
Yogging, yes. That is the
Silent J.
Silent J, exactly. That's an idea. I have no idea what I've been doing. I've been traveling a little bit.
Yes.
I went on a jaunt.
Jaunts.
I call it a
across the
jaunt.
country.
Yes, I call it a jaunt because it was a vacation for about 95%, like just for the hell of it. So it wasn't exactly a business trip, but
it had business things involved with it.
You could call it networking. You know, it was somewhat networking. But regardless, not irregardless, because that's not a word. You got that, New England? Irregardless, not a word.
Regardless is a word.
Yeah, regardless, like I was saying, I had a good time. It was a fun time. I did find this out, though. If a flight attendant asks you to could you please put your bag, take it from the overhead and put it under your seat, you can say no.
Really?
Yeah, she asked me, like, sir, our flight's quite full, and could you please move your backpack to under your seat? Now, I'm in the middle seat, and this is a 6-hour flight. So I guess this episode is not about entertainment at all. We're entertaining you. Anyway, so I'm sitting in the middle seat, and I'm like, well, I'm kind of cramped, and I'm wondering, I would rather not. And she goes, well, sir, it's quite a full flight, and, you know, we want to get everyone's bags on there. So first I'm thinking, you know, I bought a ticket. If I had a bigger bag, I could probably leave it up there.
Keep it there.
But then I said this. I looked down, and I went up to her. I said, can I say no? She goes, yes, sir, you can say no. I go, then no. I would like to leave my bag up there, please. And I was just like, I was giddy after. I'm like, oh my gosh, it worked.
I said no.
I didn't, like, I'm like, okay, wait, am I arguing with the FAA, you know, official, effectively? You're not supposed to, like, you're supposed to listen to everything a flight attendant says. You're supposed to follow what they say. But if you have the chance, you can actually say, the way I asked, I think, was probably the easiest way to go. I could have been a jerk about it, but, like, can I say no?